Right now, you're lying in bed, cozy, just about to drift off into a perfect, deep sleep. Your breathing slows, your muscles relax, and then, out of nowhere, your entire body violently twitches. You gasp, your heart is pounding, and for one terrifying split second, you were absolutely certain you were falling out of the sky. We call it a hypnic jerk, and while it feels like an annoying glitch in your modern brain, it's actually a prehistoric survival mechanism firing off. It's an instinct older than fire, older than walking on two legs, and older than the human species itself. The question is, why is your brain still running this ancient software, and what exactly is it trying to save you from? To understand why you sleep like you're in constant danger, we have to go back to the beginning. Way back. About 60 million years ago, early primates lived in incredibly dangerous environments. Down on the forest floor, the nights belonged to massive night vision predators. To survive, our earliest ancestors had to look up. They moved into the trees, building crude nests in the high canopy to sleep safely out of reach. But sleeping 50 feet in the air comes with a massive design flaw. When you fall asleep, you lose consciousness. During the normal sleep cycle, your brain sends a chemical signal to paralyze your body so you don't act out your dreams. This is called muscle atonia. But 60 million years ago, if a primate's muscles relaxed a little too quickly on a narrow branch, gravity took over. If you relax too much, you fall. If you fall, you die. So, the brain evolved an emergency tripwire. Evolutionary psychologists like Dr. Frederick Coolidge at the University of Colorado suggest that the hypnic jerk was born right here in the ancient canopy. As your body transitions from awake to asleep, it enters the hypnagogic state. It is essentially a violent neurological tug-of-war between two systems in your brain: the network that keeps you awake and the network that forces you to sleep. During this messy handoff, your primitive brain is actively monitoring your muscle tension. If you fall asleep gradually, your muscles relax slowly. But if you fall asleep too fast, your primitive brain misinterprets that sudden drop in tension. It doesn't think you're getting comfortable. It thinks you are in a deadly freefall. It panics. It screams, "We are falling!" And it instantly fires a massive jolt of electricity to your limbs, forcing your arms and legs to violently contract so you can grab a branch before you hit the ground. Except, tonight, there is no branch. There is only a confusing pile of blankets and a very startled dog. Same. Yeah, I'd be confused too. Let's jump forward to about 3 million years ago in East Africa. Our ancient hominin ancestors, like Australopithecus, were walking upright on two legs during the day. But fossil evidence, specifically their curved finger bones and upward-facing shoulder sockets, proves that when the sun went down, they still climbed right back up into the trees to sleep. They had to. The ground was heavily patrolled by horrific megapredators like Dinofelis, a massive saber-toothed cat that hunted exclusively in the dark. Here's what makes this so important. For millions of years, this terrifying falling sensation was not a quirk. It was a mandatory security system. It was the only reason our ancestors lived to see the morning. Without that violent twitch, you simply wouldn't be here today. But then, the world shifted. Around 2 million years ago, a new species called Homo erectus stepped onto the scene. And they did something that changed the trajectory of life on Earth forever. They tamed fire. Fire changed everything. It provided warmth. It cooked our food. But most importantly, it terrified the saber-toothed cats. For the first time in primate history, human ancestors didn't have to hide in the canopy. They could sleep safely on the ground. Because they were safe on the Earth, human sleep drastically evolved. We started getting deeper, much longer phases of REM sleep, which completely supercharged our brain development. We lost the curved climbing fingers. We built permanent shelters. We built beds. We became modern. But here's the problem with evolution. It is incredibly lazy. It operates purely on the rule of, if it isn't broken, don't fix it. And since having a random muscle twitch before bed wasn't actively killing anyone, the ancient evolutionary software was never deleted. Fast forward to right now. You are a modern human in a locked, climate-controlled bedroom. You are barely 2 feet off the ground, resting safely on a slab of expensive memory foam. Your conscious brain knows you are perfectly safe, but the ancient, lizard brain security guard living in the basement of your subconscious never got the memo. Add in the chaotic realities of modern life. You drink 3 cups of coffee, stress over an unread email, and stare at a bright blue screen until midnight. Your nervous system is completely hyperactive. You are chronically sleep-deprived. Because you're so exhausted, when you finally close your eyes, your body skips the slow wind-down and drops into sleep instantly. Your muscles completely give out. To the ancient security guard, this sudden muscle collapse is a code red. He panics, assumes you just slipped off a prehistoric branch, and smashes the emergency tree-grabbing button. So here's the full picture. 60 million years ago, early primates evolved a neurological tripwire to survive sleeping in the high canopy. 3 million years ago, our ancestors relied on it to not fall into the jaws of saber-toothed cats in the dark. 2 million years ago, we brought fire to the ground, abandoning the trees forever, but kept the alarm system permanently wired into our heads. And right now, tonight, when you're drifting off and suddenly jerk awake with your heart pounding out of your chest, that isn't a malfunction. That is the ghost of a primate who lived millions of years ago, reaching across time to make absolutely sure you don't fall out of a tree you haven't slept in for an eternity. If you want more deep dives into why you're weirdly wired just like a caveman, feel free to stick around. There's plenty more to explore.